Is it, eh? What's it saying? Mm. Right, the waiting is finally over, and welcome to the Radar Media Lockdown Sports Quiz Live Edition. Why are we going live? Well, we've been putting together a sports quiz of sorts over the last 2 or 3 months during lockdown. Reason being is, of course, there's been no sport on the go. We thought, well, let's throw it open to the public. Let's get talking about sport once again. the interest was so high that we decided, well, let's do a live version to get other people involved. So if you're watching us on our various social media streams, welcome. Remember, you can interact. We're going to throw out a bunch of questions to our contestants tonight. But firstly, welcome to the show. I'm Derek Alberts. It's with me is my very well-known co-host, Tyron Barnard. How are you doing, Ty?
Yeah, great. Thanks, Derek. I'm really excited to get this lockdown sports quiz live underway. It's been an incredible 2 months of lockdown, chatting sport, chatting all things in the sporting world, and just seeing the what's the word that I'm looking for? The excitement of people to just talk about sport when it's not happening. And what better way to talk about it than going into the stats and facts books?
Yeah, man, the stats and facts, we all love it, especially the fact that we keep on mentioning is very little sport on the go. So our very first guest in the inaugural Radar Media Lockdown Sports Quiz Live edition is a man who needs no introduction, but I'm going to introduce him by way of a quiz question, because this was a question that we had posed on our Lockdown Sports Quiz a couple of nights ago. And the question was, who is the only player in history to have scored a half-century on debut across all three formats of the game in international cricket? It is none other than Rassie van der Dussen. Rassie, how are you doing?
Good, Derek. Yeah, I don't know if I need to be excited or a bit nervous, but yeah, thanks for having me. Looking forward to have some fun.
Yeah, it's an absolute pleasure to have you, and thank you for agreeing to be our very first guest. This episode is sponsored by African Freedom, I know you're very much involved in. We'll get into that in a short while time. Quickly, just to do with that quiz I opened up with, can you remember the scores? I'll give you the countries: Zimbabwe, Pakistan, and England, T20, ODI, and Tests. Can you remember the scores that you compiled against those three respective countries in the various formats?
Yeah, I think T20 was Zimbabwe. Was it 56? I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, 56. Well,
ODI was Pakistan 93.
Yes.
I had a full toss to mid off, which should have gone for 6, and then the next ball was going to be a 1, and that would have been 100. But that's neither here nor there. And then the test, I think it wasn't low 50s, 52.
It was. You won runner 51, but I'll give it to you. Yeah. So well, I'll say 3 out of 3, but unfortunately that's not part of the quiz. So you're part of it, but it's immaterial. Now you have brought a teammate along, and that man is Chris Cardoso, who's your business partner and confidant, and some will say your phone a friend, although he will be taking part throughout this. Chris, how are you doing?
Derek, thanks for having us here.
Yeah, absolute pleasure. Now, you're also part of Freedom, African Freedom, who is our official sponsor. We can see you wearing the very nice cap. And in fact, you'll also see it on the side of Tyron's very good Radar Media cap, because, we have got a partnership going beyond the Lockdown Sports Quiz Live edition. But tell us a bit more about African Freedom.
Well, it's a company that we started about 4 years ago, I think now. Well, actually nearly to the day. And just a bit of passion that Rassie and I have, wildlife, everything bush related. And we thought, let's start a product that we can really put out there for others that share the passion with us to sort of wear. And that's where we got the brand from. And Freedom, pronounced Freedom, but FRDM. And it's all about African freedom, finding your freedom within Africa. So that's it.
Well, you've got a great catalog of products. So, I highly advise people to log on and go and get shopping, especially during lockdown, because there's not much else to do. I think without further ado, let's get into the quiz. But Tyron, talk us through the rules.
Yeah, so it's pretty simple. No Google allowed, obviously. And when we say Google, no Bing, no Yahoo, no Friendster, no Tipster, no Facebook help. But obviously, it's about having a bit of fun. 5 rounds. The first 4 rounds are each out of 5. Obviously, Rassie, you may, and Chris may discuss the answer, and then you give us a final answer. At the end of the night, the maximum points that you can get is 31, because round 5 is the shootout. It is a different form of the shootout to what we have on a Tuesday night with a massive group, and Derek will tell you more about that a bit later. But it is a shootout with a maximum of 10. And if you get all 10, you get the bonus one. At the end of the series, we're going to see who's sitting at the top of the leaderboard. And I can promise you that at the end of tonight, you will be at least on top for a while.
That's where it's going to stay.
I like the confidence. Okay, I think Ty, should we get straight into it?
Let's go with it, Derek.
Okay, so Rassie, Chris, first up. This is the first of the 5 straightforward questions you're going to get. I want to know, okay, firstly, Jimmy Anderson is Test cricket's highest wicket-taker bowlers currently playing. So guys that are currently active. I want to know who is second on that list.
What's our time, Derek?
Let's say, what about a minute?
Goodness me. Any ideas, Chris? Stuart Broad must be
played
out
with him. Yeah, Broad. That's exactly right.
Yeah. Any Aussie bowlers that has played for long? South African bowlers now. Dale's not
Stark.
playing.
No, I'm
No,
just
he's not
Stark.
there.
I don't think Stark's up there, no.
Indian, like Ashwin, maybe? No. I'm
Ashwin?
not sure.
Is Ashwin
No.
still playing?
Yeah, he is. Any other tests playing now? Sri Lanka, Harris is not playing anymore. I think Stuart Broad. I think he must. Yeah, England play the most tests out of all the countries.
answer.
What do you think, Chris? I think Stuart Broad.
Yeah, stick it. Let's go there. Let them play.
485 wickets. It is Stuart Broad, an average of 28.5. Congratulations, first up, and you get your very first answer. What's Stuart Broad like, Rassie?
He's actually very, very chilled guy. Got along with him quite well after the test. On the field, he's quite funny. He's obviously his intensity is right up there, but pretty laid back guy. He's almost like a gentle giant type of thing. But obviously, when he bowls to you, you know this is a guy with 400 and whatever test wickets. He's always up for a challenge.
Yeah, congratulations. 485. He's actually the highest wicket taker under 500. So a man who doesn't have 500, but closest to that. Incidentally, just looking at the 500 club, we've got Courtney Welsh, Glenn McGrath, Jimmy Anderson, Anil Kumble, Shane Warne, and Matthias Lutheran. Okay, the Springboks won the 2019 Rugby World Cup. Who was their captain? I'm joking. Everyone knows that. I want to know from you. Their second triumph was in 2007 when they won the Rugby World Cup in France. I want you guys to name the teams that they beat on their way to the trophy. I will give you a clue. One of the teams clues is that the one team they beat twice. So that takes out one option.
Okay.
Are we allowed to just ramble off any country's names and do we get the point?
Yeah. Go. Okay, I'll tell you what. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 7 countries and 6 countries in total. So you can ramble, but then I need you to give me your final 6.
So let's go. Let's lock one in there. Yeah, England in.
Cool.
Okay.
Well done. Nice during the group stages and the final, obviously.
Argentina.
Yep.
Yeah, congratulations. That was in the semi-final. Brian Abana had an absolute stormer.
Who was in our group, Chris?
That was
I want to say we played New Zealand, but I'm not sure if
I don't think we did.
Okay, well then it has to be Australia then.
Australia somewhere there. You want to lock it in?
Australia.
Okay, we're locking it in. 3 more.
Japan. Did we play Japan then? Oh yeah, France is in there, I think.
Yeah. I think
Okay, France, yeah. What minutes did we play? Namibia or something like that? Georgia?
Tonga? Wasn't Tonga there? Tonga or Samoa?
Samoa. You can go for either one of them. I'm happy for you to go.
I can tell you that both of those have popped up at different times on the YouTube chat, but whether they're both correct is the other question.
Yeah. Let's go Samoa, right?
Okay.
Samoa.
You're locking in Samoa. You've got your 6.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Okay. And I can tell you what, your first were 100% correct. Your last one was correct in Samoa. That was the very first game that the Box played. And I remember John Smith said that the opening 20 minutes of that clash was the toughest rugby he's ever played in. But then the Box ended up winning that one quite comfortably. But Australia, Japan, and France certainly weren't in it. The other three teams were Tonga, so you're on the right track there, USA, and Fiji. Remember Fiji? We had that very cool towards the end in the quarterfinals, but they managed to get out of jail and go on to beat Argentina. So, 1 out of 2. Let's move over to the next one. Rassie, you're currently averaging 70.70 in 16 innings in ODIs. Now, most record books take into account a minimum of 20 innings. If you were to carry on like you are, you could easily achieve the highest ODI average in the history of ODI cricket. I want to know which player currently tops that list.
ODI cricket.
ODI cricket, minimum of 20 innings. Who has got the highest average?
Oh. Any ideas, Chris?
I'm trying to run through some names. Oh, yeah. That's happy that day.
Yeah. I think it's. I'm not sure if it's someone. I think it's Virat.
You reckon
obviously you've gone past that, eh? So it was at 20 games.
Yeah. It's with minimum of 20 games.
Minimum 20 innings. So I think you played 20
innings. Yeah. So it's Virat or it's someone with less, like someone.
Yes. That's what I'm
Ryan
thinking.
Tender coming to mind, like, but I don't know if that's C20 or ODIs.
Yeah, look, I'm also leaning towards guys batting in the order and getting not out there. So, like a Stokes, I don't know what these numbers are.
No, this is not good. I've got a left field here. Yeah.
We've got some help here coming through from YouTube. We've got AB Moeller saying Virat Kohli. We've got, you also said crisis chap, so that was regarding your horrible effort at guessing the Springbok matches. Rohit Sharma coming in Paul. Remal China saying Steve Smith. So yeah, are you going to go with any of that?
I've got a left field in Ryan Tender Scott. I think it's like 65 or something, and he's played for Holland, obviously. Derek, that's gonna be my answer. It's either I think it's either that or Virat.
Ryan Tender Scott. And you know what? You and I did a podcast towards the end of last year, and I actually gave you the stat. So, yeah, it is Ryan Tender Scott. Congratulations.
That's I've got you to thank because it was in there.
Yeah.
That's where it came from.
It didn't stick entirely. You still had to think of it. So, 67 average after 33 matches. You currently on 70. Now, Ty, in his other job, is a CA by trade, and he's a mathematical genius. He was on that show a word or two when he was about 8-9 at the time, the youngest ever competitor to take.
What a claim to fame.
Yeah,
impressive, eh?
Jeremy Mansfield didn't want to talk to me. But William Smith did.
Yeah, birds of a feather. Ty, can you quickly work out? So, Ryan, Rassie's got 4 more innings to go. What does he need to do in order to top that list after the next 4 innings?
Well, the easiest thing, Rassie, is if you bat the 4 more times and you just don't go out, then your average is already over 70.7. Or, of course, if you were to go out in all 4 innings, you would need to score 232 runs, an average of 58. But we figured you could knock a 160 or 170 in the first knock, then a 50, and then you only need 12 in the last 2.
Okay. Yeah, sounds like a plan. I'm definitely going to try it that way. Yeah.
Easy to go. You know, I must say, I was over in Manchester, and it was the Proteas' final match last year of the Cricket World Cup. And, Rassie, I haven't been great luck for you because I was also at the Wanderers earlier this year when you were looking for your first Test century. I was over in Manchester when you were looking for your first ODI century, and on both occasions you went out just right towards the end. Although that atmosphere was phenomenal, that ODI match in Manchester, the crowd going, "Oh, KG Rabada," it was amazing. What was that like, and was it nice to enjoy that win despite the disappointment of the entire tournament?
Yeah, I think that tournament, as we've said a lot of times, we just didn't click as a team, and we actually started playing our best cricket at the end, beating Sri Lanka convincingly, and then obviously beating Australia in the last match. And there at Old Trafford, there must have been 30,000 people, and it was packed. As you know, the atmosphere was unbelievable against the full strength Australian side. And there's always that little niggle when South Africa play Australia in any sport, I think. So that was definitely on the line. We definitely didn't see it as a dead rubber. They definitely didn't see it as a dead rubber because it was their final game before the semi-final. And yeah, it was a special day still. I mean, I think we scored about 320 and we defended it. And was it the last ball of the innings that I went out?
I think it was penultimate ball.
Yeah.
I think it was penultimate.
Yeah, Pat Cummins bowled a slower bounce, which there's only ways to hit it deep to cow corner. And that boundary, for some reason, I don't know why, it was about 80 meters, and Glenn Maxwell was right on it, and he caught it. So it wasn't a fielder that it would have gone. But yeah, special day nonetheless.
Yeah, it certainly was. So that elusive three-figure mark still eludes you, but I'm confident that you'll get it sooner rather than later. Moving on to question 4. So you currently stand 2 out of 3. Who were Bafana Bafana's squad captains in the FIFA World Cups that they've competed in? Give you a clue that they've competed in 3, 1998, 2002, and 2010. I want to know who the captains were of those 3 tournaments for South Africa.
So Lucas Rugby, I think 98.
Okay, yeah,
Was he
you're right, I think.
in that squad?
Was Neil Tovey? Well, he finished there.
Or was that Neil Tovey and then yeah, okay.
2000. Sorry, what year's Derek again?
1998, 2002, 2010.
Okay.
It was 2010. That's we watched every game.
Yeah, I know. Aaron McQuena. Was that him?
Aaron McQuena, is that one of your answers you're going to lock in?
I think that's going to be my 2010 answer, Chris. I don't know. That's 10 years ago already.
Cool.
Yeah.
Aaron McQuena will take it, and we're getting lots of remarks over on YouTube. Everyone's saying Aaron McQuena 2010. So I think you can safely hedge your bets on that one.
Okay, and then definitely Lucas Radebe.
Lucas Radebe, for which one?
Was that a part of the question?
Yeah, Janelle, for all 3. So Lucas Radebe, 98, 2002.
I'm going to go 2002.
Or 2, and then 98.
Yeah. You want to try Toby there? I don't know if Toby was though. I don't
Dr. Kamala, was he there?
Gonna push you for an answer.
Yeah, I'm gonna go because
Go for it.
Yeah, I can't remember much of that squad. I was only 9 years old, so Chris, you'd think that you would come in with something there, but it's fine. Don't worry, I'll carry us. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Dr. Kamala.
But Dr. Kamala for 98, Lucas Radebe for 2002, and Aaron McQuena for 2010. Some answers coming through on YouTube. Ravi Reddy saying Tovey for 98, so he kind of agreed with you. You eventually changed your mind. It, in fact, was only 2 players over the course of the 3 World Cups because McQuena did captain in 2010, but Lucas captain in 98.
Oh, right.
In 2002. So unfortunately, a big X there. Incidentally, just a quick one. In terms of FIFA rankings, I gave this to the group the other day in the Lockdown Sports School. The biggest upset in the history of the World Cup was Bafana Bafana's 2-1 win over France, because it meant that it was a difference of 74 places in the rankings. That's pretty impressive from South Africa. Okay, final question from me. I want to know, who is Africa's most decorated Olympian? I'll give you a clue with this one. Together with Christina Egazevgi, she's also won the most individual Olympic medals in women's swimming.
Sure, that's a tough one.
Penny Haynes? Swimmer, female.
Yeah.
Kirsty Coventry. Kirsty Coventry, Zimbabwe.
Yeah, that's a good shot.
Need a final answer?
Go with your gut, Russ.
I'm going to go Kirsty Coventry. Zimbabwe.
Congratulations. Kirsty Coventry is correct.
Great,
10 medals and
Great stuff.
one bronze, 4 silvers, and 2 golds. That means out of the first 5, you got yourself a nice 3.
Good shot.
That's okay. 3 and
All you-
2/3 for that second last question.
Yeah. I can give you 3.5. Why not? All yours, son.
All right, so let's put that score into the scoreboard. Nice and simply. Here we go. So 3 points up at the end of round 1. Let's move on to round 2. It will be the visual questions. So I'll show you a picture and I will ask you the question behind it. For these few questions, your faces will be hidden because I didn't load them. So here we go. This is question number 1. Which rugby team played in this kit?
Is it they always out there, Stade Francais or something like that?
Yeah.
What do you think,
Could
Chris?
be, Russ. It could be. Could be.
They
I'm not
always
too
have,
great with those jerseys.
like-
Yeah, they're out there.
Yeah, they are. Is it them? I'm not sure. Well, I have nothing
Put it
else.
in. I'm not going to say
Unless
anything
it's
else.
like Harlequins in England or something, but
No,
yeah,
it's
let's
not
go
them.
Stade Francais.
Okay, we actually asked this question to a man who played against them, and Kyle Brown. And it was, in fact, England Sevens used this as an alternate kit in one
wow.
season. It was a weird one. But, Rassie, I wanted to ask you, what is the relationship like between the cricket guys and the rugby guys in South Africa?
Oh, to be honest with you, we don't really our paths don't cross that often, but it's when it does, it's there is obviously a mutual respect. I mean, I think playing at the highest level for your country in any sport will come with that sort of respect. But I get along with a lot of the guys pretty well, and Sia and Skulk Brits who I've met and spent a bit of time with, and I think Jesse Creel was over in England, and we saw him a few times during the World Cup. So they love their cricket. We love our rugby, obviously, and it's like a mutual bond, I suppose. That's the two sporting code.
When you walk in the street with Sia, do people stop and say, "Who's that guy with Rassie van der Dussen?"
No, not actually, because that's happened once or twice in the airport. And it's he definitely gets noticed first. I mean, the guy is larger than life at the moment, so I'm not going to be too offended by that.
And would you like to play in a little Box versus Proteas game if we ever get another one?
I'd love to. I mean, I watched that one. What was it, 3 years ago or something?
Yeah.
It was really entertaining. There was some. I'd love to do it. I mean,
Remember,
those guys.
remember they misspelt Simon Harmer's name on the back, and they called him Hammer. Yeah, and he kept pointing. That's Hammer time now.
Yeah. No, so I think something with. I mean, the fines afterwards would be something to behold, I think.
Oh yeah. I can only just imagine after the way Trevor Nyakani was on form that night that he has to come back if we ever have another one. All right, let's go to question number 2. This trophy was from a specific tournament. Which tournament was it?
Is that some sort of football trophy, Russ? I don't have a clue, to be honest.
This looks like the Nedbank Cup. Not the Nedbank Cup.
Almost does.
Gary player.
Yeah. I'm going to just throw one out.
Yeah?
Yeah, okay. No, like a under 21 World Cup trophy or something like a football
FIFA
World Cup trophy.
21, go for it, because I don't think that's the Gary player trophy.
No, it's not Gary player.
Looks similar, but yeah, go for it. I mean, I've never seen it in my life, so.
All right. So
there.
going with the Gary Player Trophy, it is in fact
the
1992 Cricket World Cup.
We were wrong.
The trophy changed after this in 96 to its current form. Of course, South Africans, we don't really like this trophy because of 22 off of 1. But 1992 Cricket World Cup. I didn't know it either. Going to question 3. This gem of a kit that Lance Klusener's playing in, a time when South Africa forgot we were the green and gold, but we decided to be the red and green. This was in the C&B series in Australia. It was a triangular series where we lost the final 2-1 to Australia after knocking out New Zealand. I just want to know, that final was played in January of which year?
Chris, was that before or after 99 World Cup?
I think that was before.
Can you see who's running behind him there? Because I can't.
Looks like, it's number 8. Who was number
Looks
8?
like Imran's here.
Oh, 5. Like
He's
8.
celebrating a
Is it
wicket.
Hansie?
He's off to the boundary.
If it's 5, it's
I don't know.
Hansie.
It's 5 or 8. I can't see there, but it looks like
No, 8 was Jonty. So 5.
No. Yeah, has to be Hansie then.
So
before.
that must be. Jeez.
I'm going to say
96.
98, 97,
No.
98. Okay, you want to go earlier?
I think 96, because I reckon it's just as Lance Klusener started. No.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm going to go for 96.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, we're locking in 96. So Chris said 1998. Chris, he didn't want to listen to you, but yes, Jacques Callis wore this gem in 1998, January 1998.
Oh, right. Sorry. Jeez.
And I never enjoyed this kit at all, the massive Protea on the side. But I thought it would be quite interesting to hear from you, Rassie. Of all the kits you've played in for any team around the world, what's been your favorite kit, just from a pure look and feel point of view?
I mean, you can guess what my answer is going to be. The World Cup kits, the one-day kits as it is right now. I think there's a lot that goes with the kit. Actually, it's not just a shirt or whatever that you put on. I mean, we play in so many different teams these days that sometimes it is just a shirt or whatever in a team. But Protea's kit, there's no doubt. It says Protea Fire on the inside and it's really, really special. Some really cool attention to detail there on our playing kit, which makes it really special.
Awesome, and we look forward to you scoring that 162 in your next game in that kit. All right, question 4. Who is this gentleman who is actually a bit of a legacy in the sport of cricket?
Can we know his nationality?
I'm pretty sure he's Indian, Derek.
I think he is. I'll quickly do some research, but he's very well known for his surname.
Yeah.
Which I suppose is obvious, but yeah, it's not so. It's about something that. Can I give a bit of a clue, Ty?
Yeah, it's not about his ability necessarily.
No, he lent into something which causes controversy often.
I got it.
I think we gave too much of a clue there, Derek.
Thanks, God.
They're sitting on a duck, Ty.
Any idea?
Yes. Fantastic.
This is none other than Venu Mankad, the man who started the controversy that helped West Indies knock Zimbabwe out of the Under-19 World Cup. And the last visual question. Derek.
He was from India, by the way.
Okay, so he was an Indian, Venu Mankad. And here we go. Who is this international cricketer?
Rassie, is that you?
Look, judging on the lack of eyebrows, I'm going to say that's me.
You guys want to lock that answer in?
Lock it away.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is Rassie van der Dussen. So well done there, Rassie. You do get 2 points for the round, taking you guys up to 5. And Derek, let's go to the audio round.
Yeah, thanks very much. And it's interesting you speak about having no eyebrows. One of the comments that came through on our social media feed, someone said, when are you going to be playing the next villain in the next James Bond movie? You've got that look. And
I'm going to take that as a compliment.
Yeah, I would. Geez, the villains are always the best remembered characters in movies. interesting comment also mentioned from Paul Matloane. A little earlier, we saw that red and green strip, very famous. It was the only time we wore anything like that. And I also remember it for this. It was when Makai Antini made his debut, and it was against New Zealand. So very good performance from him. So I always, whenever I see that kit, all I think about is Makai. Okay, we're going to go into the audio section now. Very easy. I'm going to play for you 5 sound bites of sporting personalities, and you need to identify each and every one. We'll play one, then answer. Play one, then answer. And remember, those watching at home, you can answer as well, and maybe I can guide the contestants in the right direction. Okay, here we go. First up, who is this?
Well, obviously, grass hasn't been my best surface, so just come and try to give myself the best opportunity to win some matches and kind of get going and get some confidence on it is pretty good. So I'm happy with that.
Okay.
Tennis player, right?
Yeah. She didn't give much away about herself there.
No.
I'll play it one more time. Let's have one more listen.
Well, obviously, grass hasn't been my best surface, so just come and try to give myself the best opportunity to win some matches and kind of get going and get some confidence on it is pretty good. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah, a couple of clues that are coming through over on the live chat on our YouTube channel. Remember, we're on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Quite a few saying Janelle de Villiers, so I don't think that's going to help you much. Hope you're ready. I think you're wrong. So you're on your
Yeah. What about one of the Williams sisters or
No.
one of the...
But she has an American accent, but then again, most of those tennis players do because they study there.
That's true.
Yeah, they do train there.
She said one word that made me think she's Scandinavian, though, but I can't come up with any names.
When she spoke about a ratlet when she eats.
Yeah, there's something in the accent there.
Yeah, I'm going to have you.
Chris, I don't know. I mean, I'm going to go with someone then that I haven't heard speak before. Maybe like Naomi Osaka.
Go for it. Lock it in.
Let's go. I have no idea.
Naomi Osaka is a former US Open winner, I think. So is this girl, but it's not Naomi. It was Sloane Stephens, who shocked the world a couple years ago with a very good victory. So, yeah, that was Sloane. Okay, moving on to this one. Who is this? This is definitely an American accent.
Springboks, good luck to you in Japan. Kick some butt. Go Boca!
Wasn't that Roger Federer's message to them? No.
It could be, yeah.
But that doesn't sound like him, though.
Okay, yeah, let's play it again.
Springboks, good luck to you in Japan. Kick some butt. Go Boca!
What about one of our swimmers that are playing or swam there in America, right?
No, this is
currently.
If it was one of our guys, I can guarantee you he wouldn't have said Boca.
Yeah,
true. That's true.
I know Roger Federer did send a message like that, but for me, it doesn't sound like him. And then I'm thinking it's like Matt Damon or Francois Pienaar. Who played it? Yeah. Chris, any thoughts?
Russ, I don't know. I'm going to go with something random here. Speed. I'm throwing it out there. I don't know. Just a random
golfer.
Who did you go? Jordan Spieth?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Throwing something left field, yeah.
I'll give you one more clue quickly. He's recently been in the news for a move that he made. So you can make with that what you will.
Moves that he made.
Yeah.
Maybe the NFL player.
3, 2, 1.
Peyton Manning.
Is that your answer? Peyton Manning?
Yeah.
Okay, Peyton Manning. Correct sport.
Oh.
A wrong guy. It was Tom Brady, who recently moved to Tampa Bay Buccaneers from New England Patriots. Spent all his time at New England and recently moved holder of 6 or 7 Super Bowls? Or 5?
I don't know.
One of those.
NFL too well.
Okay, this one. We've tried to block this out but unfortunately we got to relive it. Who is this person speaking?
Gutfeld's got to push for two. They've got to go. He's got to go to the keeper's end. He's got it. England have won the World Cup by the barest of margins. By the barest of all margins. Absolute ecstasy for England. Agony. Agony for New Zealand.
Of course, that is when England and New Zealand tied in the World Cup final. The powers that be decided no. He who scores the most fours shall win.
Yeah.
But who is that world-renowned commentator who did a phenomenal job, it has to be said, given the fact that he was obviously internally rooting for the opposition, but didn't make it sound like it.
So New Zealand commentator Chris Smith. Is it
Smith, Ian Smith.
I see. Yeah, I think it's him.
That's the only one coming to me at the
I
moment.
feel like I should just because.
Final one?
Yeah.
Lock it in.
Lock it in, Ian Smith. Correct. You've got your first one on the audio. And yeah, man. What was that like for you, Rassie? Just watching England win it that way from a team perspective. Have you guys kind of just switched off after you got back home from the World Cup, or did you actually follow the comings and goings of the tournament afterwards?
No, we got home. I definitely watched the remaining matches. I watched that final. I remember it, quite vividly, and it's a weird feeling. It's a feeling of what could have been, because I firstly know that we could have beaten England, and we definitely could have beaten New Zealand as well. And it's, I suppose, what I took from, use that hunger, make a mental note of how this feels, because you don't want to be sitting at home on the couch watching a final being played. It was tough, especially knowing we didn't perform like we wanted to perform. I remember it vividly, and I'm going to keep remembering that in the future and apply it when it needs to be applied again.
Your feelings about the rule at the time, which was subsequently changed, about the team that scores the most boundaries will win if it ends in a tie after the Super Over?
Yeah, I mean, all things that happened, it was just England's year. I mean, that throw that came in from the boundary, it hit Stokes' bat and then went for four. Stuff like that. It's then when things like that happen, it's whoever it happens for, it's that team's day. So.
Okay, so let's move on to number 4. Who is this?
I think if you asked me this, or if you told me this a few years ago, that it will be me that was breaking this record that stood for so many years, I would have laughed, because it's still a dream for me. And but yes, it's the reality, and I'm so pleased. I mean, I worked hard for it. I started running in 2018.
Who could that be?
I was thinking St. Klitter until that last sentence. Started running in 2014. What record do we have in?
It was a record set last year.
So broken, obviously, end of last year. Or she set it last year?
Yeah. She set it.
Okay.
Mm. And well, she broke it and set it.
Yeah,
at the same time.
We can't know the item, right? No, that's too much.
It's running. I'll give you that. And she actually did. Oh man.
Comrade.
Yes, you're on the right track.
It was Comrade.
But I don't know the name.
No.
I don't know. Can we get half a point for that?
No, I will give you nonsense. But I will give you a clue. Another one. Her surname is the same as a legendary Proteas cricketer who has just recently retired from Test cricket.
Dick, do you want to give the answer?
Stein.
There were so many.
So I got Spain. That's surely worth that off.
Let's go. What's a Afrikaans female name?
No, I don't know. This I'm leaving to you, right?
Marjorie
Spain. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. No idea, dude.
It is Kadestein.
Spain.
Won the 2 Oceans, and she went and won Comrades in record time. A phenomenal athlete and a phenomenal person too. Okay, final audio clip. of tonight. Who is this?
Yeah, the golf course is a course that is pretty much in front of you. It's a course. It looks like it suited my eye today. It's the first time I've seen it, but it's a tough golf course. It's been a long time since I've had that many yardages of 200 and over into a lot of these holes. And the ball was going short, so I felt it played really long.
Should we play it one more time?
Brandon Grace.
You do it one more time. Who's this?
Yeah, the golf course is a course that is pretty much right in front of you. It's a course. It looks like it suited my eye today. It's the first time I've seen it, but it's a tough golf course. It's been a long time since I've had that many yardages of 200 and over into a lot of these holes. And the ball was going short, so I felt it played really long.
Right, who do we have? I can tell you, it's not Jordan Spieth.
Chris, I'm thinking it's Brandon Grace.
You know it's not Gary Player, because he would have told you his name.
Why are you leaning there? Just if I may ask, what's your shout on that? Why?
Well, he sounds South African, firstly, and I'm trying to form a face in my head from where I've heard that before. So, who else? It's not Trevor Immelman, I think. It's not Louis Oosthuizen.
No, the one that was coming to me was Retief, but I don't know. I think of his accent right now as well.
I haven't heard him talk in a long time. Should we go with Brandon Grace?
Go for it. Let's.
Brandon Grace, final answer. Was that the man who won Masters back in 2010? No, 2009. No, 2011 he won. It was not, because this man was Charles Schwartzel, former Masters winner. Yeah, so unfortunately, you guys got 1 out of 5. You got Ian Smith, and then I think I might be kind and give you another one for Gerdersteen. You got Comrades and you got after I pretty much spelled that. So let's give them 2 out of 5 then.
Yeah, sad our face.
Derek, just because we're going back to school next week doesn't mean we have to give marks away, but we'll allow it.
Comrade that's fine. Dal could probably run Comrades as well, so
he could, and probably win it as well.
All right, so 2 points on the board. That's 7 points up now, and to my good friend Gary Player, I apologize. Please don't beat me up again. All right, so next round of questions, 5 questions from me now, so you know what sports are coming. But who was South Africa's top test run scorer in the 1990s?
Top test run scorer.
So from 90,
who played for the longest? Gary Kirsten. I'm going to say maybe Gary or Peter.
Gary, no, not Peter. What about Darryl Cullinan?
Yes, or Hudson maybe. I don't know how well Hudson did back then.
That's years ago. Say that much. Yeah, when did Gary? It might be Gary. Think of other names that played in that era who played a lot. Hansie. I think Hansie scored the most. Who batted 3?
Yeah. Darryl also batted 3 every so often, you know.
Yeah.
3, 4.
I think Gary Kirsten's a good shot. I just can't remember exactly when he started playing. But he played in that red kit. He did.
Yeah, that'll help.
He did.
Did he play 96 World Cup?
He went from about 95, 94 onwards until, 2000.
Yeah, I think so.
6.
Yeah.
We're going for it. Okay, Gary Kirsten. If you had said Hansie Cronje, you would have been wrong because he was second. But in first place was Gary Kirsten, top test run
Yeah,
scorer
betting. Well
in the
done.
1990s.
Nice.
So, I mean, Rassie,
yeah.
obviously, Gary was a great test cricketer, a really good ODI player, never had the chance to play T20. Which of the three forms of the game do you enjoy the most?
Geez, Tony, that's an impossible question. I mean, because every format comes with its own challenges. And I think for me, I enjoy all the challenges. So I enjoy grinding it out in red ball cricket and test cricket and staying really disciplined. And I really love going out in T20 and smoking sixes and fours that the crowd love. And especially playing at the Wanderers, seeing that ball go. And in ODI cricket, it's a long, sustained pressure, and you've got to rotate and make the play at the right time. So it's, I don't know, I would probably say maybe ODI cricket because it's almost like a combination of the two. But yeah, I love all of it.
And I'll ask you your feelings about the idea of moving to 4-day tests.
Look, I'll probably say that I'm more around a realist than a traditionalist, and I think with a schedule these days, it would make sense. I think you can fit in a bit more cricket in a day. I mean, the schedule for overs for a test day, as it is 90. You can add another half an hour in there and make it 98 overs a day, and so you actually only lose two sessions. But I also hear what the traditionalist guys are saying, that you've got 5 days to really set up the game, and winning a game in that final session in day 5 is probably what it's all about in a test. So for scheduling, I can see the reasoning behind 4 days, but I can also see the other side. I think it will make sense. So.
Yeah, I think sport is probably pushing that way to quicker conclusions, but I myself am a bit of a traditionalist, and as much as I like the skitskop and donna of T20, there's nothing like watching 20 maidens being bowled in a row in a test match where the batsman is trying his best, but the bowler is just on top. It's superb. All right, I did promise you and I did warn you, one of the other sports that I'm a massive, massive fan of is the sport of darts. There's two sports that I'm a fan of, and the other one will come, that are not your mainstream sports. And the one is darts. I love it. 180. I think it is probably one of the greatest spectator sports out there. And also the fact that you can be an international sportsman while holding a beer in the other hand. I mean, that's pretty cool. So your question here is, who's the current world champion in darts?
I can't even say one dart player's name, Chris. So I don't know.
He has a really big mohawk, and his wife paints an animal on the side of his head every game he plays.
Jesus. No. I mean, you could have said, it literally sounded like you sucked that out of your thumb, but I said you could have said anything there. You couldn't have.
Okay.
John, let's go for John. John Richardson.
John Richardson is a great answer. It would have been outrageously good if that was the correct answer. But it is unfortunately not. It is Peter Snakebite Wright. Go one day, go Google him and just go see how ridiculous he looks.
Sounds like an interesting fella, yeah.
All right. There is this gentleman that plays plays cricket for the Proteas. He's played ODI Tests and T20s. You might know him quite well. He scored a half century on his debut in each. Only player to ever do that. But I'd like to know, in those three formats, on the international stage, which of those formats have seen him hit the most sixes, and how many has he hit in that format?
Surely T20, Chris. I don't know if you know my stuff.
Look for validation. You guys are close.
I can tell you that it's very close between.
Yeah, it must be T20s, Chris. Surely it must be T20s.
Yeah. Okay, let's stick it out there.
But I have no idea how many T20 runs do I have? Maybe like 300.
The only way I'm leading to ODIs is because you've played more ODIs, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think that. Well, I'm gonna go for T20s because I'm thinking that Sri Lanka innings now against Australia, I hit a few against England, I hit a few Zimbabwe, I hit a few.
Put it in there. T20.
Might have added up 16 innings, almost a 6 in innings. Yeah, I think I'm gonna. Can I know how many T20 innings I've played?
I can't open a browser because it'll mess up the streaming. But Derek might be able to check.
Okay.
I can find it right now. Just hold on. Okay, you want to
But,
know how many T20 you played?
We are going for T20 then.
So
Yeah.
14 T20 innings.
And I can tell you T20 is correct.
Yeah.
So the amount, and if you get close, I will accept it because, I mean, if you get staying,
I'm trying
you get
to-
shadder.
Yeah, trying to think if I'm over 6 in innings, and I think I am. So I'm gonna go with like 16. I'm not over. Yeah.
I'm gonna push a bit higher, Ras. I'm gonna say 18,
10 innings.
17, 18.
14.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go for middle ground then. 17. Yeah.
Okay, 17. So what I can tell you, Rassie, is you have scored 16 in ODIs. But you
Okay.
have 18 in T20s. You're within one, so we will give you the points.
Yes.
That's
Oh,
close
nice.
enough. So, yeah, 18 sixes. And I wanted to ask you, Rassie, I was at the Wanderers when you were playing for the Josie Stars, and it was an innings against 20 Spartans, against AB's boys. It was an innings where you hit some monsters. I remember the one, we were sitting up in the third tier. I think you scored 90-something in that innings. We were sitting up in the third tier, and the ball went over the top of us. So, is there one six you've hit in your career that stands out in your memory?
Yeah, one or two on that day, definitely. I think that's one you're referring to.
Yeah, it was massive.
Yeah, that was a nice one. I think early on, Lungi and Gideon just started coming onto the scene. Lions versus Titans, also at Wanderers. He gave me a bit of length, which I duly went after. Yeah, but I mean, I can't think of one or so. I don't really remember a lot of my innings, actually, to be honest with you. So, yeah, but that MSL innings, I just did it nicely that night for some reason.
Yeah, and then Dan Christian, I think, came in late at the end and helped you take it home.
Yeah. Actually, now against Australia versus Adam Zampa, I slog swept one over the scoreboard in PE, which, I mean, at sea level, it doesn't travel as far as it does at the Wanderers or Supersport Park, but that was a nice one as well.
Oh, awesome stuff. All right, the other sport that I'm very passionate about, and I am actually the SA Hockey Media Officer, so sorry for this question if you don't know, but can you name
I played hockey
any...
in high school, so...
Oh, there we go. So can you name any of the current 4 national hockey coaches, indoor and outdoor, men or women? You just have to name one for the point.
Head coaches.
Yeah, head coach. They are all
Jonathan,
men.
Jonathan Richardson may be a possibility.
No, I can't. I'm
also stumped there.
And one was a recent guest on the Lockdown Sports Quiz. So there we go.
I saw it last week or the week before, I think.
I'm gonna just go. Somebody tweeted. I think it was someone just said, "When in doubt, go for Pity Kutsia." So I'm gonna go.
Well, I actually was going to ask a question tonight where PT was the answer. And then I thought, no, let me just ask one that has 4 options.
Okay.
So unfortunately, she's not one of the current coaches. The current 4 coaches are Gareth Ewing for the outdoor men, Robin van Ginkel for the outdoor women, Lenny Buerter for the indoor women, and David Joshua for the indoor men.
Don't know that.
No, it's okay. We will get through Hockey the podcast. We'll try to at least get a few people to know some hockey stars. All right, your last question in this round. You are on 2 out of 4, and don't worry, most people don't get my dots and hockey questions right unless it's Petey Kutsia. And this question is, the last game the Springboks lost was at the World Cup against New Zealand. I want to know, who was the last nation before New Zealand to beat the Springboks in a test match?
Something's telling me it was also like a tri-nations here at home. Tri-nations, forgive me.
Championship, rugby championship.
Yes, championship. Yeah.
Can it be New Zealand again?
I don't know. Yes,
I'll tell you, it's not New Zealand. It's not New Zealand. We drew with them. We drew 16-all and we beat them in New Zealand.
Remember that great try from Cheslin Colt? No, it wasn't
Herschel Jantjies.
Yankees, yeah.
Herschel, yeah. Jeez, Chris, I don't know. I'm trying to think who we played. Did we play the European teams?
Argentina. We beat Argentina, yeah. I'm just moving
Wales?
back to
Wales?
Wales could be a good shout.
I'm going to go Wales. I think something says, but I don't know. I'm going to categorically state that I don't know, but I'm going to guess Wales.
All right. Are you locking that one in?
What do you think, Chris?
Go for it.
Yeah.
What I can tell you, and let's see if I can do this in a nice creative way, because, an accountant, when he wants to be creative, let's not talk about my previous employer, but there's the update to your score, because Wales is correct. We lost to Wales in Cardiff at the end of last year. 3 out of 5 for that round, and it puts you on a nice solid 10 going into the shootout. So, Derek.
Great shout.
Do you want to talk us through the shootout?
Yeah, thanks. I think it was Wales towards the end of 2018, eh, Ty?
Yeah. Only lost one game this year, was to New Zealand or 2019.
Yeah, it feels like this year because obviously we've had. A couple of comments that have been coming through. I love this one when you're answering about how many sixes you've hit and which one more, and then you couldn't work out how many matches you've played. AB Moeller said, "How can you be that silly? He can work out exactly how many T20 internationals he's played. How can you not?" You can get it immediately. And then they're all congratulating you on going for PD Kutsia, because that's exactly what they would have done too. Okay. So how this works, it's very easy. We've got the shootout. At the very end, it's 1 minute that you're going to be timed. Both of you are going to be playing together like you've been doing throughout. And we're going to give you the choice of 2 categories. You will choose one. And then in 1 minute, you've got to give us 10 answers to that category. So if I give to you World Cup winners in football, you've got to name all the World Cup winners, for example. Okay, but you only need to get 10 in that minute. If you do get 10, all correct, we'll give you an extra mark. So then you can get 11 out of 10. But that's all there is to it. And the 2 categories are Derek's cricket versus Ty.
Tyrant's cricket.
So I guess it's cricket, guys.
It's cricket. But who are you going to go with? Whose questions did you enjoy the most or hate the most?
I can tell you there's no darts in my cricket.
Well, Tyrant, I feel like will be stats questions, where Derek might be like, fan questions.
Yes.
What do you think? I'm gonna go for Derek. Tyrant has a weird like sense of humor where he likes to see people suffer.
Numbers wise.
Yeah. What do you think, Chris? You make the call on that.
Yeah, Derek, let's go with you. Seeing that you're on the screen already, give it to her.
Shame. Sorry, Ty. I'd love to know what a fan question is as opposed to a stat question.
Well, Derek, out of interest, should I give what my question was gonna be?
Yeah. Yes.
So, Rassie, Chris, my question was gonna be the top 10 ODI scores for South Africa, individual ODI scores, and you needed to give the score and the batsman for the point.
Jesus.
So obviously Gary Kirsten's 188 as an example,
yeah.
and then, but that isn't the one you chose. The one you chose
Okay,
is
that's-
Derek, and it will go. You will see a timer on the screen. I'll disappear. Derek will go into the bottom corner, and you just shout out. Derek's not going to say yes or no. He will just at the end tell you how many you got. So,
Yeah,
Derek,
so-
once you've asked the question, give me the go ahead.
Thank you very much. And always, as a rule, when it comes to the Raider Media Lockdown Sports Quiz, when it comes to these shootouts, as we're being shouted at by all the contestants watching, hands have to be visible, both hands. So in case you don't have a phone in front of you or anything. So when both hands, you can go like that. There we go. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Just don't cover your mouth too much that we can't hear you. And basically the first 10 answers that come to me, we're going to take those 10. But you can converse amongst each other and go, okay, cool. Yeah, let's go for him. Boom. And then go to the next one. Boom. Okay. So I want to know from you, in a minute, you must name me 10 players who have won the Sir Garfield Sobers Trophy from the ICC. What is the Sir Garfield Sobers Trophy? It's the World Player of the Year, first awarded in 2004. So, go for it, Ty. Set it.
Can we start or not yet?
Start right now. Go for it.
Okay. Ben Stokes. Yeah, Ben Stokes.
AB de Villiers. We're just going to throw it out. So.
Yeah, Muralitharan.
Okay, is that your answer, Bryn?
Yeah, he's in. Did AB win it? Yeah, let's go for Shane Warne. Session. I'm going to go Session Tendulkar.
Yeah, Session Tendulkar.
Virali.
Yes. Let me think of some West Indies. Courtney Walsh. I don't know. Just throwing it out there.
Before that.
Before his time.
Yeah. Where's our timer? I can't see the time. Any other Indian players?
We need 5 more.
I'm gonna go Rohit Sharma.
Pakistani players.
Yeah.
4 more.
Yeah. Hashim Amla.
Yeah. Steve Smith. I don't know if he is in there.
Steve Smith. Go for him. Yeah.
2 more.
Kane Williamson.
Yeah, I'll go for Kane Williamson. Yeah. Jock Cullis.
10 seconds.
Jock Cullis. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got your 10. We've got your 10.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Stop it there. Joel, you've got 10 answers. We'll find out now.
Yes.
Okay. So let's look through the ones that... okay, you mentioned Jacques Cullis. 100% correct. Jacques Cullis won it back in 2005. He, in fact, shared the award with someone else, and that person was Drew Flintoff. Another man you mentioned, Virat Kohli. Very much so. Virat Kohli winning it twice in 2017 and 2018. You also said the name of Ben Stokes, who's the most recent recipient of the award, 2019. No surprise there. Steve Smith, it's an easy one to go for. 2015, he captured the award. Very, very well done. And a man that you can never go wrong with, Sachin Tendulkar. Only one time recipient of the award. You'd have expected him to have won it a little bit more. But that back 2010. As for your others, I even forgot some of the names that you mentioned because they aren't on the list, unfortunately. Going through. So it wasn't 10 out of 10. We're going to go through all the names. Rahul Dravid, Jacques Cullis, Andrew Flintoff, Ricky Ponting did it twice. Shivnarine Shandapal, that's the bolter. Mitchell Johnson, Sachin Tendulkar, Jonathan Trott, the bolter. Kumar Sangakkara, Michael Clark,
of course.
Mitchell Johnson doing it again. Steve Smith, Ravi Ashwin, Kohli twice, and Ben Stokes. So nice effort. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unable to get 11 out of 10. But 50%, it's more than a pass mark in South Africa these days.
It's definitely more than we would have got with Tyron's question. I can guarantee you that.
Only one right.
You know, Rassie, I've got to ask. I'm just having a look. We've seen quite a few captains in the mix having announced, looking at this list. Virat Kohli, of course, being one of them. Steve Smith, previous captain. It seems as if every Proteas press conference takes place over the last couple of weeks. the story that emerges afterwards that the latest guy's thrown his hat in the ring for captaincy of the Proteas. We had Dean Elgar this week. Last week, we had Keshav Maharaj. We're going to have the Refunded Dussen press conference announcing the same thing.
To be honest with you, Derek, I think it's more a case of the media asking a question and wanting a specific answer. I mean, there's not a lot of cricket happening at the moment, so there's a lot of speculation about that. Yeah, I mean, I think if our West Indies tour gets cancelled, our next Test cricket is only in December. So by that time, there's a lot of things that would have happened. But yeah, it's something I've been asked about. It's something that I definitely would do, and would be a great honor and a privilege. I think, yeah, we blessed that in the squad there's a few guys that can do it, which leadership comes naturally, myself included. Yeah, whoever it is, I'm pretty confident that where we are as a team now and where we're going, everyone will back him up. And yeah, like I said, whoever it is, I'm quite excited going forward.
Well, I can tell you what, about 2 weeks ago, I did a podcast with Jacques Fall, who's the CEO of Cricket South Africa, and I posed the question to him about captaincy, and he said he had very, very glowing words to say about you. I think he singled out 3 or 4 players, and one of them was you. And not only did he single you out, he just kept on singing your praises.
Yeah, I think Jacques Fall, I owe a lot to him. When I moved to Northwest, when was that, Chris? 2012, he was CEO at Northwest Cricket. So him and Monty Jacobs, who was the coach at the time, gave me that chance. So we've come a long way. But yeah, obviously, any time that someone of his stature talks well of you, it's a great privilege.
Yeah, wonderful man is Jacques Fall. So that wraps up the questions. Ty, how are we looking on the leaderboard?
Well, let's go check it out. Let me open it up here for you. Here we go. We are opening up the
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, if it does so happen that someone does surpass our score, that I'm very happy to come defend it. I had a lot of fun tonight. So the questions are not easy, yeah, I think that's pretty much a fair score, 50% basically. I think we did well. I'm not feeling too bad about it. I would have liked a 17 or an 18, but yeah, I'm pretty happy. What do you think, Chris?
Yeah. It's been a good night. I think in future, Tyron, if you want to head up 3 rounds yourself, just to really test the guys going forward.
Yeah.
But it's the audio rounds. It's always the audio rounds.
They don't call him the Simon Cowell of the sports quiz world.
I must be honest, I haven't been called that before, but thanks, Derek. Thanks. You're currently up there. So thanks, Derek.
It's an absolute pleasure having you on board, and thanks for joining us for the very first Radar Media Lockdown Sports Quiz live edition. Also, massive thank you to all the viewers that took part and watched. Remember, we'll be having another one in hopefully a week's time. We'll have our next guest, but then also we've got our Radar Media Lockdown Sports Quiz, the lengthy edition. We don't put that out live, but for those wanting to compete, simply get hold of Radar Media via Twitter or email. It's info@radar.media. But yeah, there's plenty of things all over. You can find us all over the place. And it's the home of sports quiz at the moment, Ty.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been great. And special thanks, Rassie, Chris, and of course, African Freedom for jumping on board and supporting our initiative and helping give it legs. And to everybody on the YouTube stream, on the Facebook stream, and of course, wherever you are watching it, thanks for joining in. It's fantastic stuff, and we look forward to seeing you at the next edition where we take on the next sports star.
Do you have a second guest lined up? Or you're not giving that away yet?
We've got a few in the offing. Why? Is there anyone else that you want to challenge to come on board?
No, I'm just trying to see who's coming for our title.
Okay, well, yeah, there's a few in the mix. Fudgy Fahan Bardeen was the last man to confirm his presence, so I don't know if it'll be next week, but it could very well be. He's a man to help you.
Yeah, he's quite knowledgeable, Fudgy. Yeah, so no, I wouldn't say I'm intimidated, but yeah, how I know him, I think he'll do pretty well.
Brilliant.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. And there will be somebody here next week. And maybe it'll be a hockey star or maybe it'll be a darts professional. Probably not. Probably not. But
that will be entertaining.
It'll be Jonathan Richardson.
Jonathan Richardson, he'll be here next week. Taking on 122.
Awesome.
Cheers, guys.
Enjoy. Thanks guys.
A lot.
Appreciate it.
Fun. Cheers, man.
Cheers, mate.